Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate.
Wow.
She is burning
Timmy.
everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good
Try
for you, Tim.
decaf,
Good
bro.
for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against
holy
them.
shit, calm down,
I don't
bro.
get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd
I'm
imply
fucking
that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow. Like
she benefited. I think she's a Fed, and I think she killed Charlie.
This is really strange because, again, that press release, that document, allegedly, okay, we'll say allegedly. We're gonna sprinkle the word allegedly on everything I'm saying tonight because I don't 100% know and I don't want to get sued. The shooting was allegedly unsubstantiated. The one that just happened a week ago. The one from 2022, they're saying was his brother, which he never denied. He said, oh, my brother was shooting at me. Well, what if he just was playing with a gun and it went off and that's the report? And you want to be a victim so bad, Tim. And you're so paranoid about people coming to kill you. How many times have we heard that? Tim Pool is scared of people coming to kill him. And Civil War and oh my gosh. And he's just like the most hysterical person ever. Like, this is crazy. Is he trying to like legitimize himself to be like, look how important I am. Look how important what I'm doing. I'm speaking so much truth to power. And these people are trying to kill me. And then I got Candace who's just running my name through the mud. That's stupid. I don't know what the hell's going on with these people. I do know this is that when he says midterms, we're winning. My first question is, who's winning? The MAGA movement has not been what people wanted. It has not been populist at all. It has sided with the technocrats. It's sided with Israel. And it has basically done nothing for us. So we always have to ask, it's like, what are we doing here? What is the right way? What is this movement you're talking about? Because Nick Fuentes' movement is vastly different from yours, Tim. And TPUSA's is vastly different from Nick's. And Candace, whatever the hell vision she has, is wildly different from both of yours. They see the timer on the MAGA movement, the MAGA moment, and it's up, right? It's over. Trump's a lame duck essentially, and that's it. That's that. He's going to satisfy his donors, and that's probably going to be that. So everybody's thinking about what's the right wing going to look like in 2028, who's actually going to be vying for the presidency. Of course, JD Vance is going to be, and that's basically all I can see here is that this is a power grab. We still got 3 years left of this administration. It's time now to act. We have to move the power away from, I think Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson want to move it away from the TPUSA Israel crowd. Nick wants to move it away from that crowd too, but he doesn't necessarily want Candace and her crowd to have it either. Tim, again, I'm not 100% sure where he lands on this. He says, TPUSA didn't invite me. TPUSA doesn't like me. But I don't think that's true because, again, he just admitted they did re-invite him and said, oh, you're on our side? Okay. TPUSA is coming out and they're using Charlie Kirk's death as kind of a springboard to try and control the narrative, try and push Erica Kirk to the front to kind of replace Charlie Kirk. And I think Candace Owens and her ilk are like, nuh-uh. We're going to jump in there and we're going to set the narrative and we're going to throw a little wrench in this. And so in some sense, even if Candace is full of shit and a lot of the shit she says is wacko, I think just for that reason alone, her throwing a wrench in TPUSA growing even larger and stronger, that alone, I think, is a good thing. Like, I'm totally cool with people calling out Candace for being a wacko. That's fine by me. But just that in and of itself, that what it's doing, how it's dividing up the narrative attention away from Erica Kirk. And Erica Kirk she's so butthurt. She's so butthurt about Candace. That alone, I think, is a good thing.
Nick, keep an open mind on Israeli involvement in Charlie's assassination. There are many fact and suspicious events pointing that way.
$200
when it comes to this. America.
No, you're an idiot. Sorry. Thank you for the big super chat, but I'm sorry. If you're on the Candace Owens train, I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to try to appease you. It's wrong. It's stupid. All of it is stupid, and I'm not going to entertain it at all. And I thought Tim Pool had an epic go-off on it tonight. It was awesome. I have never seen such a clear-cut case of an individual person being such an unnecessary detriment through sheer ignorance and irresponsibility. I've never seen it. Because you could say other people that have done things like Shapiro or Charlie Kirk or whoever, you could say they're part of a system or there's an incentive structure, they're playing by the rules, whatever. Candace is spearheading this thing, like she is creating this hysteria, and it is to the detriment of everybody. It is to the detriment of the right wing broadly. It is to the detriment of anyone that seriously talks about Jews in Israel. And it's to the detriment of rationality. It is the definition of hysteria. And I thought Tim Pool, very courageous, because I know he's getting shit for it, to say something about it. He had an epic go-off on it. Major
it was epic.
Respect for him. But yeah, no, I'm not with that at all. Thank you for the big super chat, but respectfully, no, disrespectfully, that is stupid, okay? And I don't buy into that for 2 seconds. Charlie Kirk was Israel's number. You say, why are we stopped noticing? First of all, why are we stopped noticing? You can't even write. You can't read or write. You're a fucking idiot. That's one. Two, nobody stopped noticing. Noticing is about paying attention to evidence. Evidence. Not scraping the bottom of the barrel talking about maroon t-shirts and looking at flight logs and finding any and every possible thing and throwing it at the wall to see what will stick. She says to Russell Brand, it's all connected. Brigitte Macron, Charlie Kirk, the war in Gaza. What a coincidence that everything you talk about is really all the same thing. You just knew it was going back to Brigitte Macron. So no, it's fucking bullshit. And, nobody wants to say that because everybody is afraid of this hysterical mob. I faced it before. I was right before. I'm right about this. I'll be vindicated. You watch. I'm done arguing about it. I've said what I have to say on it.
He was, in fact, not done arguing about it because we have like a lot more to go through. We have a lot more, Nick. If you want to say, I don't think the authorities and the elite structure are telling us the real story, the full story, I think that's totally normal to say, right? There's so many large narratives like this that happen, big happenings that we find out later. We're like, not exactly what they said. So it is weird that Nick is on this staunch, like, of course it Israel. Like you can say like the particulars of what she's saying is wacko, crazy bullshit, sure. But I think a lot of people feel as though there's something weird going on. It was just a weird thing in general to have happen. And it's totally fine for people to just feel skeptical about it. But for him to say, no, you're crazy. Everybody who thinks about it any sort of way other than what they told us is crazy. Almost like pulling up the ladder behind him saying, look, I know I have the real information and the real facts on my side. You people are dumb. You don't know anything. Like that's weird. That's very weird to do. To make an affirmative of like, you exactly know what happened. It's like, dude, we haven't even had the trial. The trial just started. Like we have nothing to really go off of other than what they've told us, which is only like a handful of things in weird Discord logs.
As you power, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm done with
What's the over-under he calls her the N-word next week?
The level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors.
I'm surprised Nick hasn't thrown that out there
No
yet.
one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the am I even supposed to sell this property?
So there's a lot to unpack there. First and foremost, what you are seeing right there is on a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys, okay? What you are seeing is actually a display.
Well, he's not speaking to you.
Everything he is doing there is somebody who is not a man. He is not tough, and he would never dare
He's not
speak
tough.
to a man like that, right? People that find that very easy. Secondly, Tim Pool doesn't even have the intellect to understand that we put him in the thumbnail because he accused me in a full episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, which we showed and contextualized, of being someone who benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination. So he thinks he's being accused. No, you accused me of that in like a actually, I think it was 2-hour episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, in which Milo defended me and explained that I am not to blame for the lame excuses that the feds have given us regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. And that if we do need to have some spiritual searching in terms of what the Republican Party has become, that the time for that is now. Okay. So this little, and I really like, he's a small person for this, a very small person.
Taking the high road.
Theatrical, Timothy Smollett, who pretends every year like people are trying to kill him. He's a chronic fence sitter, okay? Pretending like he is braving the wilderness for being what? The 110,000th person who's making a video about Candace Owens in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. He thinks he's pioneering that. Are you out of your mind? It's only the safest thing you can do. What's next? Is he going to make a video and call Kanye West anti-Semitic? Like that's what he's pioneering right now. Oh my gosh, so original. Like, is he going to call Donald Trump evil in 2016? This is the storm that he's braving, is jumping on the side of what everyone else is doing.
Now she's trying to play the victim card
for what he did there. He should apologize. He won't. I don't care what happens to his platform. He's now essentially trying out, because he's under financial pressure. He's trying out for a Zionist to pay him, and they will. Okay, they will cut him a check, and I hope it happens for you, Tim. I hope it makes you happy. But to do that to someone who has never done anything to you other than disagree with you about the Charlie Kirk narrative, I have not focused my content on you, and anytime your name has come up, it has been because you have explicitly been attacking me. You are a coward. You are less than a man. Okay, you are behaving. Your type right there is like a person who's having financial issues and yet decides to go out and put 100K on a poker game. And when he loses and is a further 100K in the hole, comes back home and beats his wife and kids and thinks he's a tough guy. That's how you're acting right now. I'm not your wife. I'm not your kids. Get your affairs in order. And stop blaming me, because I'm actually traversing down the path that hasn't been traveled by standing up and saying that something corrupt happened and Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't care about your midterms, okay? I don't care about your next year midterms and whether or not the Republican Party is united, okay? Because I don't want to stand next to people that would cover up Charlie Kirk's assassination. I hope that I have made my point perfectly clear.
Ooh, she just bent him over her knee and just started giving him a spanking. Little Timmy, mommy Candace is going to give you a spanking. She's trying to take that approach of, no, little Timmy, you've been a naughty boy. And frankly, again, she's coming out looking way better than Tim, like spazzing out, spurging out, calling her the C word. Like in the public eye, they're going to look at that and be like, shit, dude, what the fuck? The particular shit she's talking about, you know, there's some gilding the lily, right? People, it's a show, right? I think that's obviously part of it. But people are just taking those particulars and being like, oh, she's so crazy about Egyptian planes and she's so crazy about this. And it's like, yeah, that shit, whatever. I don't really know. I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. It's a mystery. We're embroiled in a mystery. We're kind of like, I don't believe the official narrative and it's interesting and let's try and work through it the best we can. But then there's people who just say affirmatively, like, no, this was what it was. And it's like, I don't know if I want to say that either, frankly. I think if Candace and Ian Carroll are definitely saying, yes, it was Israel, I'm like, let me stop you right there. But then if Nick and Tim and all the people are saying it definitely wasn't Israel, I'm also like, I'm going to stop you there. I don't necessarily know if the evidence is there for us to say 100% it was Israel. There's some things there that are interesting, but I also wouldn't rule them out. I don't know why people are so hell-bent on ruling them out based on one thing. He was their top guy. Like, yeah, maybe, but are the texts real or was there things going on behind the scenes? I mean, people have come out and said, people who knew Charlie, that he was fearing for his life. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. Is that not testimony? Is that not evidence in some sense? I have no idea. Are they lying?
Pray he comes through it. What I would say is this, Candace is losing the argument, and she knows it. More and more people are calling her out. They're saying she's exploiting people. She's making a conspiracy mob, and more people are starting to come out. I was not the first. Anybody who feels that my speaking up has opened up an opportunity for them to do so, that's great. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I just literally talk about what I feel, and much to my own detriment. So here's the post she had.
Isn't that what Candace is doing, though?
She said...
Isn't she just talking about what she feels?
Clint Russell, he said, Podcast Wars 2025 has officially begun. She says, I cannot explain it, but I sense that this isn't actually about me, and that Tim Pool is under tremendous financial pressure. Men behave a certain way when they are under economic pressure, and I feel like he's just lashing out, and I happen to be here. This is Candace Owens saying, I lost the argument. I'm being exposed, and I have no real way to push back. Her shows never resolve any of the mysteries she presents. She's just asking questions. She claimed UTC was Utah time. She said there's Egyptian planes flying all around. There aren't. There are Egyptian planes flying around for sure, but the ones she's apparently pointing to, some of them aren't even in the United States. Some of them it's just coincidence, but she's just asking questions. She then claimed that some of these airplanes are landing at airports where black SUVs are driving to a federal building, in which the address she read off was the address of her own lawyers. However, she confirmed that feds do work out of that building. Funny, her feds work in the same building as her lawyers? She never vetted that these trucks, these SUVs were coming from the airport. That was all just blah in the email. She then said, I confirm the address that has feds in it, which then leads people to assume that this confirms the whole story about planes landing and SUVs coming to this thing. She never said she vetted that or confirmed it. You see the game she's playing. Now she's being exposed because people are starting to speak out against her. And there are certain people who do it with reckless abandon, like myself, because I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm not here for diplomacy. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to be the number one podcast. I literally just turn the camera on and whinge. And whinge I will. In an unhinged rant, says Daily Beast. So now she's going for the female debate strategy. Strike at Tim Pool's stability, his emotional stability, his financial stability. None of this actually makes an argument. By the way, I might add, Candace, behind me right there is a $3,000 Magic the Gathering card. Certainly if I was under it. And next to it is a $700 card. In fact, you can look at all my dual lands. Oh, how about this? How about this $20,000 meteorite Gian? That's correct. That sword was forged from meteorite, and it is very expensive.
The eternal Redditor. Holy shit.
I am a wealthy individual. Everybody knows it. I ain't hurting for anything. I own a bunch of property. This is a pathetic attempt at deflection, for which she continues by referring to herself in the third person like a schizo. On that note, I genuinely hope that whatever it is, he gets through it. But I can guarantee that blaming the future 2026 GOP midterm results on Candace Owens is not the solution. Candace, referring to herself as Candace Owens like some kind of schizo, maybe that makes sense. Maybe, you know, I'm wrong and she's not smart. She's actually just three people in one. And that's why she can't actually have a linear path to whatever investigation she's working on. So to these people that are trying to entertain her, I'm not playing these games with you, okay? Russell Brand, what are you doing? She's making up stupid crack pottery. She's connecting dots that don't need to be connected, as Nick Fuentes said. Bridget McCrone is a man, and it's connected to Charlie Kirk, and it's just... And as sooner or later, Blake Lively finds her way in there. But women love it. They love it. Isn't
That's
that funny?
true, they do.
Men like the objective.
It's like the new
what
Oprah.
What is or what is not. And we disagree quite a great deal upon that. And the women love the who done it, who knows. We don't know. Not all women, not all men.
The titillating
But Candace largely
intrigue.
tapped into this.
Embroiled in a
say
mystery.
this. I am absolutely loving this. Candace falling apart.
Really, the reason why I feel like all these people are butthurt is because she's mogging everybody in views. Like, really, that's it. If she was only getting a couple, 10,000 views on her videos, like, I don't think people would give a shit. But she's literally like perma-mogging people on this narrative.
And the most damaging thing done, of course, was the murder of Charlie Kirk. And now the second most damaging thing we're looking at is Candace Owens burning down everything he built and now having the gall to go after his grieving widow and his children, indirectly threatening their livelihoods, what Charlie built. It's a bridge too far. She's said many things that were increasingly, let's just call it, unhinged. And then finally one day she said, pull your donations from this godforsaken organization, with a direct implication in her post saying that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by Turning Point USA, even saying in one clip that his friends would have had to have signed off on his murder. It seems like there is no depth too deep and no bridge too far for her to benefit her career and her show. She would even go after those who loved Charlie the most. And I have no problem with people questioning the official government narrative or what the FBI thinks, but claiming there's Egyptian planes flying around in Utah time, which he was incorrect about, claiming that these planes are landing at airports or black SUVs are pulling into federal buildings where it just so happens her lawyers also work. It has just come to the realm of nonsense. The U.S. military, she claims, is now involved in his murder. She has turned the very tragic murder of Charlie Kirk, and she has turned this political movement into a reality drama, true crime show where she treats us all like characters in a fictional show. And, I think it's just gone too far.